Hello viewers, today I am back with the TCS customization video with respect to the TCS process that I did before. If you did not watch that, please click on the above link and watch the new TCS process that is effective from July 1st, 2021. In this video, I am going to explain the required SIP nodes for TCS in SD, functional customization, base type routine 364 and 361, tax codes, TCS GL accounts, TCS threshold limit maintenance and accumulation tables. You can refer the parent SIP node, that is 2898812, which holds all the sub nodes with respect to TCS process. As you can see that there are list of SIP nodes in which ABAP works on the data dictionary activity nodes. You will be working on the correction nodes to enable the TCS that is tax collected at source, section code update in TCS billing document, and other nodes to be implemented by basis consultant, as those are to be implemented through S-node transaction. Once you access the functional SIP node 2948539 and 2949714, you will be able to find the PDF documents for TCS process customization and TCS process to make your activity more easier. Now let us proceed with the functional configuration. Functional activity can be started as soon as the ABAP's activity is completed. As part of the functional activities, you have to configure the TCS conditions, TCS tax classifications, pricing condition tables, access sequences, including the TCS condition types in the pricing procedure, and mapping the default condition types. Execute the transaction V/06. Create JTC1, JTC2 and JTCB condition types by copying any GST condition type. Later, you need to change the access sequences you have created for these condition types. JTC1 is used to calculate the TCS as per the section 206C subsection 1H. JTC2 is used to calculate the TCS as per the section 206C others. This will be applicable for scrap, timber, tender leaves and etc. JTCB is used to form the accumulation value of the base value plus GST on which TCS needs to be charged. Execute the transaction OEK1 and add new entries for JTC1 as per the availability of the tax sequence. Execute the transaction OVK3 and OVK4 simultaneously and add tax classifications for JTC1 condition type. Execute the transaction V/03 and create condition tables. As you can see, condition table 1 with the key fields destination country, company code, customer tax classification field for which the TCS condition type was assigned, maintained ID and control code. Condition table 2 with the key fields destination country, maintained ID and control code. Condition table 3 with the key fields destination country, company code, customer, maintained ID and control code. Condition table 4 with the key fields destination country, customer, maintained ID and control code. Let us now create the access sequence for JTC1 and JTC2. For the JTC1 access sequence, assign the condition table 3 in first place in the sequence and then condition table 1. For the JTC2 access sequence, assign the condition table 4 in first place in the sequence and then condition table 2. Then assign these access sequences to the respective condition types in V/06. For the condition type JTC1, assign the access sequence JTC1. For the condition type JTC2, assign the access sequence JTC2. And for the condition type JTCB, assign the standard access sequence, that is JDUM. Now let us execute the transaction V/08 and include these condition types in the present procedure. We need to include these condition types below the GST conditions, as the TCS needs to be calculated on the total value of base value plus GST. Insert the condition type JTCB in first place. Then insert the condition type JTC1 and then assign JTC2. For these conditions, input the from steps of the condition type of JTCB. For the JTC1, we need to assign the base type 364, as it decides the TCS calculation on the basis of threshold value that will be maintained in the view table J_1IG_THLDV using the transaction SM30. I'll just tell you the purpose of the threshold value maintenance for this TCS calculation. For example, 50 lakhs threshold value is maintained, and if the transaction is made for the worth of 40 lakhs, system will calculate the TCS on it by making the TCS rate as 0, and this transaction value will be accumulated and considered for the threshold check in the next transaction. Example, if you are doing a second transaction for the worth of 20 lakhs, system calculates the TCS on the 10 lakhs with the formula previous accumulated value 40 lakhs plus 20 lakhs minus threshold value of 50 lakhs equal to TCS base value 10 lakhs on which TCS will be calculated. Create two account keys, one for JTC1 and another for JTC2, and assign them in the pricing procedure. Then tax codes. In this process, we need to create the deferred tax codes and the regular tax codes as per the requirement. Once the deferred tax codes are created, we need to assign them in the regular tax code in the field target tax code. Example, your deferred tax code is created for the TCS rate 0.0%. You need to create a regular tax code for the same percentage and assign the deferred tax code in properties under the tax code. You need to keep in mind that the TCS condition types and the access sequences need to be created and adjusted in the tax procedure in the transaction OBYZ. Usually this activity will be performed by FI consultant. Then TCS GL accounts. In this process, we need to have two GL accounts. One is interim GL, which comes into the picture doing invoice posting, and the another one is immediate GL, which comes into the picture while settling the TCS using the deferred tax process. These GLs must be open item managed and tax category must be output tax account. Now, TCS GL accounts assignment. Execute the transaction OB40, scroll down to TCS account keys that we created earlier and map the GL accounts with the combination of TCS tax codes and GL account. Now, the threshold limit. Execute the transaction SM30. Input the view table J_1IG_THLDV. Create new entry with the TCS tax category and threshold amount with the appropriate validity periods. Now, the accumulation tables. As explained, the system needs to exempt the TCS calculation up to 50 lakhs that is mentioned as threshold. For this, system needs to accumulate the transaction values somewhere to calculate the threshold as and when the transaction is created. For this, there are two new accumulation tables which were introduced, that are J_1IG_ACCUM HDR, that is header table, and J_1IG_ACCUM DTL, that is item table. These tables will be updated with the customer and supplier PAN or with the customer code combination only if the accounting document is created for the transaction. So, this is all the configuration that is required to live the TCS process in the SAP system. If you would like to watch the TCS process with the sales transaction, you can click on the above link to watch the same. Thanks for watching the video. Shining off.